Hi, this is Tony, and you're listening to We Ran Together. In our pilot episode, we are going to discuss a rather stoic but somewhat comforting thought that I've had the last few weeks. I tend to always do some thinking on life and existence around my birthday, and this year wouldn't be different. So buckle up and let's start. Think about those moments when life hits rock bottoms. It could be the heartbreak of losing someone dear, getting fired from a job you really needed, or facing any tough situation you can imagine. We've all been there in our own way, but some folks can bounce back, while for others, it marks the start of a downward spiral. Have you ever thought about your existence beyond that point? Because from the moment we are born, the world around us decides how tough our journey will be in this game of life. For many of us, that starting point feels a lot like rock bottom. So we spend our lives trying to climb up from there, trying to improve our situation for our own sake or even for the sake of our beloved ones. For that, we exhaust ourselves from an early age, striving to get into a top notch college or hitting the job scene very early and trying to get a good role in the corporate market. At some point, we understand that we need to push harder to be more. It's in that moment, I say, we start trying to climb up from the rock bottom of our existence. But in our climb, in our pursuit of escaping that initial misery, we tend to overlook some crucial aspects of life, like death. Not the physical death, but something I'd call the death in life, the end of the present moment, the halt in our journey that will take us out of that status quo and that fantasy of success to remind us of our place in the economic system. But we have psychological structures that make us push through that type of death drive and keep working, keep the cycle of our constant search for happiness. The problem is that idea of happiness is forced, not made by us, but yes, by the capitalist propaganda of happiness through consume and wealth. What's crucial here is to understand how our urge to move forward, combined with the idea of success we are sold, often drives our actions for better or worse. As we climb up, perhaps we need to think about how trying to escape rock bottom might just push us deeper into it. We tend to overlook the structure of our lives, our talents, and even our flaws to work towards an idealized sense of fulfillment that is not possible for most of us. The idea of being the one, the chosen, the one person that achieved happiness through sheer work might be very romantic, but is also a torturer of our souls and bodies that can lead us to some of the most prevalent mental health issues, such as anxiety, depression, and burnout. This is some kind of a stoic rant where I invite you to stop for a moment and rethink what you've been working for your whole life and analyze the benefits from it. Are they real benefits or are they just compensations for the constant suffering? If so, I'd say you are being given a chance to analyze how can you make your life more meaningful before you start falling ill. Persistently going forward and ignoring our emotions, thoughts, and wishes will only lead us to our collective deterioration. And how can you do it? My personal conclusion to this is that maybe I shouldn't just neurotically climb up from rock bottom. I rather decorating it, adorning it with my favorite type of art, give it life, and even isolate myself on it when needed. I have never personally met anyone who reached nirvana, the true state of happiness. We are all locked up in this capitalist way of life and just maintaining it through our alienated work. I rather think about it and try to transform it. So, why not embellish my rock bottom? Why not improving my way of life in my own way, detached from the capitalist perspective of always growing up financially? I feel like it's the best for me to transform it. By comprehending your daily challenges, understanding your limitations and strengths, and selecting the battles you engage in, you might not reach the figurative light, but your climb might become a little bit more manageable. You will never be truly happy, I will tell you in advance, but you can maybe be satisfied with your life. So, For the conclusion of this rant, I say that answering the question of why we are experiencing increasing levels of mental issues is nearly impossible within a singular framework. Some will attribute it to the nuances of modern life that can't be changed, while others point to work alienation or the fluidity of postmodern relationships. However, the reality is that this paradox may not find a comprehensive solution, especially not in the confines of my podcast. Our focus should reside within our immediate spheres, trying to keep our own mental well being. Instead of fervently working nonstop or trying to improve capital neurotically, perhaps an effort to comprehend our system, our professional connections, and the ideals ingrained within us could collectively lead us to a mentally healthier place.